How's it going, guys? I saw this movie last night. This film is called Nasty Baby. I've heard of it. I've been wanting to check it out because I'm kind of a big fan of Sebastián Silva. I wouldn't say big fan, actually, but I really enjoyed his last movie, which was Crystal Fairy and the Magical Cactus, which starred Michael Cera. Very interesting movie to say the least, but that's pretty much the only movie I've seen from him, but he seems like a talented guy. He seems to have his own style, which is cool. And I decided to give his newest movie a watch, Nasty Baby. Rented it at the Redbox, and I saw it last night, like I said. And the movie actually does star Sebastián Silva, the director himself, as the main character. And it also stars Kristen Wiig and some other guy. I don't know his name, I forget. And I don't know if you guys are aware of this movie or not, but it is very, very controversial. It's very controversial, and for a very good reason as well. I'm gonna get into that later. The film follows a gay couple, one of them being Sebastián Silva, who plays the main character. I believe his name is Freddie in the movie, and it also stars Kristen Wiig. And this gay couple wants a baby, but of course they can't do that because they're both men, and that is physically impossible. So Kristen Wiig decides to help them out, you know, trying to get pregnant in order for them to have a baby. Meanwhile, Sebastián Silva, I guess, is some artist dude, and he wants to make this short film, this short art film of him imitating a newborn infant and crying. I don't know. It's freaking weird. It's a very, very strange film. I forgot to mention that part. It's very weird, but in a good way, I guess. And then, meanwhile, there is also this homeless man who kind of terrorizes the gay couple. He's very homophobic, calls them names. I believe his name is the Bishop in the film. People call him the Bishop, and he's just this crazy homeless man who likes to terrorize. Not terrorize, like he's not really a harmful man, but he's not a very nice man. And the movie just basically follows the everyday life of this gay couple, and they want a baby. Kristen Wiig tries to help them out with that, and yeah, it just follows them. And that's pretty much the movie without giving away anything. But as I mentioned before, this film is extremely controversial due to its ending. Specifically the last half hour, I would say. It's very shocking what happens. It kind of takes a really dark turn. The tone completely changes, and I could almost call it a horror film in disguise, but it isn't. It's still a drama. I would still consider it to be an indie drama, but it's really hard to talk about. It's honestly just something that you kind of have to see for yourself. But I was really enjoying this movie, honestly. I really liked it. I really liked watching this gay couple, you know, trying to live their life and trying to, have this baby, and it was kind of nice to see. And, yeah, like, the first hour is kind of like that, where it's an indie drama, as I described it. But then, without spoiling anything, like, I'm not gonna spoil it for you, because I'm kind of recommending you guys to go out and see this for yourself, because I want you guys to witness it for yourself, but it takes a very dark turn, and it's shocking, and it was very uncomfortable to watch. It was very disturbing, and I don't know how I feel about it, to be honest. I really don't know what else to say besides you just need to go see it, because, again, I don't want to spoil anything for you, so, yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and recommend you go and see this. Like I said, it's at Redbox. That's how I watched it. It's also on Amazon. I'm sure it's on iTunes. Just go watch this film. And this movie is getting very, very mixed reviews. There are people who love it, and there are people who hate it, but then there's also people who don't know what to think about it, and that was kind of me for a while, but I am slowly beginning to fall in love with this movie. Just because it's very different. It's very unique, very strange. It's really unlike anything that's ever been done before, and I appreciate Sebastián Silva for, doing that ballsy move and creating something that's very different from what you normally see. And what it does is it kind of blends genres together, like I said. Like, towards the end, it gets a little dark. I can most definitely see why people would hate this movie, but at the same time, I think the people who hate this movie don't really understand the point of it. They don't get the idea of it. I think this movie is very smart. In fact, I can almost call this movie genius for what it does, but Basically, I think it starts off, like I said, as an indie drama, and it really makes you invested into these characters and care about them, which it does a good job at. Like, the acting in this film, I forgot to mention, was very good. You really feel for these characters. Like, you know, you want them to be happy at the end. And I think that's what the whole main point of the movie was to do, is for you to feel invested with the characters. And as soon as bad stuff begins to happen towards the end, I think that just makes it all the more shocking. And I think all that getting to know and care for the characters is what made the ending more shocking, because you were just getting to, you know, love these characters, and then eventually that happens, and you're like, well, I feel bad now. Which is why I kind of say this is a horror film in disguise, because I feel like this is honestly the most realistic horror film I've ever seen. I think that's probably the best way to describe this film, is the most realistic horror film I've ever seen, because, like, I felt like this was real. Like, I felt like whatever was happening on the camera, I was there, it was happening, you know, I felt all of the, you know, the tension that the characters were feeling. Like, I felt what they were going through, and it just overall wasn't a very good feeling, but it was, but still, I felt like I was in that situation, which I think made it a lot more shocking. And yeah, I think that's kind of what the point of the movie was, is that it's very realistic, like I said, and it tries to get you invested into these characters, and then bad stuff begins to happen, and like I said, it kind of blends genres together a little bit, and you're just like, okay, what the fuck? And I think the ending threw a lot of people off, definitely. I think that's why a lot of people did not like this film, was because of the ending. But like I said, I don't think they really understand that the whole kind of message the movie was trying to tell you. But yeah, a lot of people did not like the ending to this film. In fact, Sebastián Silva tried to submit this film to be in the Toronto Film Festival, but they only agreed to submit it if they changed the ending, because Toronto Film Festival did not like the ending either, and Sebastián Silva made a wise choice and declined their offer to change the ending, because he felt like that would lose the whole purpose of the film. But the movie actually turned out to play at the Sundance Film Festival, which is kind of funny. But yeah, point being, it's a very controversial film. I know I said I would recommend this movie to you, but honestly, if you are not into slow films, it's a very slow film. Like I said, a very character-driven film. If you're not into that kind of stuff, you might not like it. But I feel like those of you who want to watch a good, kind of thrilling movie, almost, I think you'll like it. I would recommend it to you if you are into that kind of stuff, or if you're open to movies, like you don't really, if you don't know what movie you want to watch, then I would suggest giving this one a watch, honestly. Like I said, I don't know how to describe this movie, so it's kind of hard to recommend, because, again, like, it kind of blends genres together, I don't know, but it's definitely a very one-of-a-kind movie, and for being that, I'm going to recommend it for you guys. And yeah, overall, I really, really like Nasty Baby. And at first, like I said, I didn't know what to think of it. I'm pretty sure anybody who saw this movie didn't know what to think about it by the time the movie ended. But I'm slowly beginning to love it after watching it 24 hours later. And yeah, I would recommend it, like I said. And overall, I'm probably going to give Nasty Baby a 4 out of 5. I think, like I said, the best way to describe this movie is that it's the most realistic horror film ever. And I mean that as a compliment. And I mean that as a compliment. I really do think this is a very well-made film, very different, and I think it worked as being a very different and unique film. And yeah, so that's about all I have to say for Nasty Baby. Just go watch it for yourself. I'm not going to say anything else about it. Just watch it. And that's about it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm Jacob Palacio, and I will see you guys later.